the entities that don't belong to our world. You can try to rationalize it all you want. A face that appears in the mirror, only to vanish when you turn around. Or the feeling of cold fingers brushing against your skin when no one else is there. It's the kind of fear that burrows deep into your bones, leaving you wondering if you'll ever feel safe again. And the worst part, no one will believe you until they see it for themselves. The night holds more than just darkness. It's a playground for the unknown, a time when the boundaries between the living and the dead blur. But sometimes there's no logical explanation for what you see. A shadow that moves with a mind of its own. Maybe it's just an old house settling, or maybe it's something far more sinister. You try to brush it off, but the fear lingers, gnawing at the edges of your sanity. Every time the camera rolls, you're half expecting to see something you can't explain, a figure in the background, a door slamming shut on its own, or a whisper that seems to come from nowhere. It's in those moments, when the rational mind fails, that true terror takes hold. You can feel it, can't you? That creeping sense of...
While two guards go outside to investigate, the others watch on the CCTV camera.
Adelante. A ver, ¿dónde?
Adelante. Caminen hacia atrás 3 pasos. Exactamente está a su espalda de ustedes. Ahí me ve. Exactamente ahí donde está haciendo su movimiento. Ahí está. Diles. Adelante, lo escucho.
Ya le abrí aquí la malla al 37, lo dejo que pase hasta del otro lado, lo acompaño al portón y lo dejo que vaya, ¿o qué hago? No hay nada.
Hasta ahí está don Enrique, dice.
Está atrás de ti, Enrique.
Ahí.
Ya la barajaste.
Despite the girl being visible on the security camera monitor, the guards on the lot can't see her, even though she is standing right beside them. While the other guards inside try to direct them to her location over the radio, the guard shines his light around, but they both still seem to see nothing. It almost looks as if the guards believe that they are being pranked by the other security guards inside at the CCTV monitor. Creepiest of all, as the guards search, they seem to pass right through the girl, and one guard's flashlight shines right through her body as well.
And they won't stop until they've made sure you'll never forget. There's a reason why the unknown is so terrifying. It's not just what you see, but what you can't see, what you can't explain. It's that nagging feeling that something is there, just out of sight, watching, waiting. And sometimes, if you're unlucky, it lets you know it's there. A faint whisper, a door creaking open on its own, the sound of footsteps when you're alone in the house. You tell yourself it's nothing, but the fear remains.
¿Va a dormir? Cargoso, el otro. ¿Ya se durmió, Leandro? ¿Se durmió no? Capaz que está durmiendo, tú estás jugando con la luz. Quédate ahí, Tobias. No vayas, Tobias, quédate ahí. Quédate ahí, no vengas. Tobias, quédate ahí, no te despiertes, ahí vengo, Tobias, quédate ahí. Ahora voy todavía, No te desperté todavía, quédate ahí. Ahora voy yo.
A constant companion in the dark. And when you review the footage, hoping to find some rational, there's no one else around. When you play with the paranormal, you're opening yourself up to things you can't control. The flickering lights, the cold spots, the strange noises that have no source, each one is a warning. This can be anyone's worst nightmare. She was recording herself going down a water slide when panic started to set in. She keeps going further down, and yet she can't see the exit. Look at her face, and you see what true terror looks like. UFO spotted speeding past at Andrews Air Base in the United States.
You will soon see that, and the president and the vice president who have been in touch with these family members, the president obviously.
He thinks that he might have caught a ghost on camera at his job. The man in the photo stated that his wife requests a daily photo as proof of his location. He sent her this capture to show that he was indeed at work and alone. Then, in shock and terror, they noticed what was sitting in the passenger seat. He insists that he was alone at the time. Then who was that? Do you believe that duendes exist? The video captured a short figure that looks like a person walking across the street at night. The height and stature show that it clearly wasn't a normal person. A sign that you've crossed a line. And yet, curiosity drives you forward, even as every instinct screams at you to stop. You press on, camera in hand, determined to capture proof of what you've only dared to imagine. But the truth is, some things aren't meant to be seen. They're meant to stay in the shadows, where they belong, away from the prying eyes of the living. Because once you see them, once you acknowledge their existence, they'll know. Explanation. What you see instead is the stuff of nightmares. A face in the window where there should be none, a shadow moving across the room when no one is there, or an object flying off the shelf with no one nearby. It's the kind of thing that leaves you questioning everything you thought you knew, wondering if maybe, just maybe, there's more to this world than meets the eye. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't what you see, but what you don't see. The camera pans across an empty room, nothing out of the ordinary at first glance. But then, you notice a flicker of movement. A shadow, where the evidence is right there, undeniable and terrifying. It's the kind of thing that stays with you long after the lights come back on. The memories of what you saw, what you experienced, replaying in your mind over and over again. You tell yourself it's just your imagination, that there's nothing to be afraid of. But deep down you know better. You've seen the proof there shouldn't be one. A figure standing just outside the frame. It's gone in an instant, but the memory lingers, haunting you long after the screen goes dark. You try to forget, but it's impossible. Every noise in the night, every unexplained movement, brings it all rushing back. And the more you try to deny it, the stronger the fear grows. Because deep down, you know there's something out there, something that defies logic, something that waits in the dark, just out of reach, biding its time. There's a reason why some places are called haunted, because they felt the fear, and there's no going back. The paranormal isn't just a story, it's real, and it's closer than you think. So the next time you hear a noise in the night, or feel a chill run down your spine, remember you're not alone. There's something out there waiting in the dark, watching, and it won't stop until you know the truth. The question is, are you brave enough to find out?